Good morning. For the last two lectures, we are discuss about the basics of microprocessor and microcontroller. Different what is microprocessor, what is microcontroller, and difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. And in lecture series two, we are discuss about the architecture of 8086, and it has two functional units. One is bus interface unit and execution unit. What are the functions it has, and that functions we are discussed in detail for the last two lectures. And for the third lecture series, we are going to discuss about the controller, that is microcontroller 8051. 805 microcontroller means it is a small and low cost microcomputer which is designed to perform the specific task of embedded systems, which is displaying micro events information, receiving remote signals, etc. The general microcontroller consists of the basic three or four functions. One is microprocessor and memory. There are three types of memory. We know that RAM, ROM, and EEPROM, and ROM also there, and serial ports and the peripheral, that is timer and controller, that is timer and counters. And this is the block diagram of microcontroller, which consists of number of function units. One is arithmetic logic unit, RAM, ROM, stack pointer, program counter, clock unit, input output ports, timer and counter, interrupt circuit, and registers. And registers, we know that it is called as the general purpose registers, and it is a 8-bit register. It is, for example, A and B. A is also called as the accumulator, which stores the which receives the information from the microprocessor, and also after manipulating the instructions, it stores the information or result in the accumulator. And ALU, we know that it is also called as the arithmetic logic unit, which performs the arithmetic and logical functions. RAM also called as a random access memory. It has two types of memory. One is static RAM and dynamic RAM. And for the ROM, we know that it is a read-only memory. And type of ROMs are PROM, EEPROM, EAPROM. And a program counter, it's also used to, it consists of the next instructions going to be executed. That address will be in the program counter. Stack pointer is used whenever the interrupt is occurred in the program. Then the main program stored into the stack and perform the subroutine and come back and get the information from the stack, and it's continue the main program. For that we are using the stack pointer. We know that the clock circuit, that is, it is generated clock inputs. Based on the clock, the functions are executed. And timer and counter, also we know that it is based on the timer and counter, the instructions are execution. And the interrupt circuit, whenever the interrupts, what are the interrupts, that is input output devices, also called as the interrupt circuits. And there are two type of interrupts are there. One is maskable and non-maskable. So these are the functional block diagrams which include the microcontroller. And these are the features of microcontroller 8051. 8051 microcontroller is designed by the Intel in 1981. On-chip crystal oscillator is integrated in the microcontroller, having a crystal frequency of 12 MHz. Technically called as the Intel MCS 551 architecture. The 8051 microcontroller series was developed by Intel in the year 1980. 8-bit CPU with two registers, A and B. A also will be called as the accumulator. Intel ROM of 8K bytes. It is a flash memory that supports in system programming. Intel RAM of 256 bytes. The first 128 bytes of the RAM, that is 00 to 7F, is again divided into 4 banks with 8 registers R0 to R7 in each bank. 16-bit addressable registers and 80 general purpose registers. The higher 128 bytes of RAM, that is 82 QFF, consist of special function registers, that is SFR. And using SFR, we can control different peripherals like timers, serial ports, all IO ports, etc. Consist of 4 parallel 8-bit ports which are programmable as well as addressable as per the requirements. 32 IO pins, that is IO input output pins, arranged as 4 ports P0, P1, P2 and P3, that is port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. 8-bit stack pointer, that is SP, and processor status word PSW. And 16-bit program counter, it has and also it has a data pointer, and then simply we can say it is a DPTR. Two 16-bit timers counters that from T0 to T1 is available, and counter registers SCON, TCON, PCON and TMOD, IP and IE. The serial data transmitter, that is SCON, PCON is a power control, timer mode, instruction pointer, instruction executions are all the control registers. Serial data transmitter and receiver of full duplex operations, SBUF, and interrupts 2 external and 3 external, and it has a oscillator and a clock circuit. So these are the functions of features of 8051, and this is the block diagram of microcontroller, and each blocks we are discussed detailed. So today lecture, I think it is useful to you all to remember, and we will see in the next lecture. Thank you all.